So you see both tourists and backpackers in Thailand. What's the funniest difference you have noticed? Like, what do tourists do that make you think they're missing the whole point?
So it's not about Thailand, it's about the world in general. Let it be any country. So there is a big difference. Like, according to me, everyone should travel. Either you can be a tourist, a traveler, or anything. You should travel. You should experience the world. But as a traveler, we travel. There is a very famous thing, there is a very famous series. There is a movie, and in that, the travel guide, the to fall in some travel, love in travel guide, and he have mentioned that tourist is trying to escape something, and you are here. A traveler is there to experience something. So, when a
Yeah.
tourist come, he has a perspective of, okay, let's go there, let's chill, let's not take that much of load, let's just book a hotel, stay in it comfortably, go to big restaurants, eat like amazing food, like, good restaurants and drink and just, experience, go to the tours
Mm,
by a tour agency. So this is something what a tourist does, which is expected because he is there to, like, just relax. But when a
right.
traveler goes, his perspective is different. He is there to experience the local life. So he will first stay
Mm,
in a hostel where you can actually meet more people from around the world to make good friends. Then he will try to stay in homestays where you can actually get to know the culture of the local life.
right. Right.
Then he will go to all the same places but by own. So he'll commute
Correct.
with public transportation. He will ask lift through locals. He will use all sort of methods which a local does, and then he can actually see how the local life works. In the
Mm,
case of tourists, they will book a van. All the 5, 7 tourists will sit inside, and they will just go. At the whole time, they will be sleeping, listening to music, reading through phones. They will just get out of the place, take a photo, and leave. No, that's not how you should travel. The
okay.
way of, if you are visiting a different place, the reason is because you want to see something different. When
Right.
you get into a hotel or something, you are again in your comfort zone. You are
Right.
in the walls. There is nothing which is different. You stay in a hotel in India or in another country, it's the same because it's a hotel.
Mm, mm, mm.
So your perspective of the world never changes because in your own comfort zone. If you want to experience something beyond that, you have to get out of your comfort zone, which is very important. So there is a big, and you come with a plan, like, I have to do
Mm,
this, do this, do this. Okay, there are 10 cities, I have to see 10 cities. Why? Just go to
mm.
3 cities, experience, live there like for 5 days, 4 days, see what
Okay.
is there, experience the life. So that is
Mm,
what you're missing. It's not about the checklist, like, I have to
mm.
see these many ways. It's more about the experiences, and you will get
Right.
it if you stay there for a long period.
Correct. Okay. So you mean to say that traveling takes time, but it will give you something that a tourist would never get in 4 to 5 days,
Yes.
right? Hmm.
Yes. I
Okay.
understand,
Okay.
like, they have restrictions, like, because of the work and
Yeah.
everything. But
Huh.
I think so. You should always be a tourist, no problem, because of the circumstances. But try to be
Hmm.
a traveler. Like, one time, one day
Yeah.
of your trip, try to be a traveler. Try to get out of a comfort zone. Use the local,
Hmm.
don't be like, okay, I want everything perfect. Don't. But that's not
Hmm.
fun. You'll
Okay.
always remember all the crazy shit what happens in the trip.
Correct. 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 So when do you choose the local family's floor over the comfortable hotel? What makes you think this uncomfortable experience will teach me something valuable?
First, that you will have the connection with those that family for lifetime.
Correct. Hmm.
You are going to step in their house, and then you are going to be part of their life for the lifetime. Anytime I would message any of my people I've stayed with, they will reply me back, and this gives you a sense of belonging, that you have a home everywhere around the world you go. So that's the
Right.
biggest thing. Then the hospitality and the culture you will get to experience in the home is completely different, which you will not get to experience in the hotels.
Hmm.
So I think so more it's more of a local experience and the connection, because if you're going to stay with a family, you're going to spend some amount of time, and they are never going to forget that this guy or this girl has came to our place. You will have that connection all through your life, and which is so beautiful when you talk to them like after 5 years. The person you have stayed for 2 days is still in contact, and he will talk to you. The feeling is so amazing. So I
Hmm.
don't think so that any five-star restaurant can beat that.
Correct. That's true. That's very true. I think I experienced that only during my exchange, and I am still craving to get that experience back in some or the other way. It has not been
Exactly.
possible, but I hope I will be able to do that one day travel trip somewhere around the world soon. So, with your solo travel, everything isn't about Instagram posts. When do you feel most lonely on the road, and how do you deal with those what am I doing with my life moments?
Okay, so there are many, to be honest, to be very honest, there are many situations where you actually feel, there are many days you feel lonely, because it's not like every day you're gonna meet and every like someone. There are going to be days there are no travelers around, there are no people in hostel, you're camping, you're totally alone. So, or you are visiting any place and there are so many, there are group of friends and all the people are came with the family, and then you are all by yourself, and
Hmm.
that moment is kind of sad. You feel that I wish there was someone with me, or like my group of friends or family, to just experience that moment. But no, that's the actual learning in the traveling. So there are 100% these kind of moments. You cannot run away from them, and you just have to deal with it. You just have to be happy, look at that family, smile, look at how they are behaving, and
Hmm.
like remember your days when you go out with the family
Hmm.
or friends. So it's more of an observing. You have to observe and be happy. You cannot expect. And eventually, as you're going, you might find someone who is there alone. Just go out and talk to him or talk to her, like, hey, like, where are you from? I saw you also traveling alone. Can we
Hmm.
travel or can we have a walk together? And then you have a lifelong friend. I have done this so many times. And the
Correct.
person in front of you is also hoping that someone is going to come, because
Correct.
he's
Okay.
also alone there. And everyone
Right.
wants, sometimes you want your lonely time, but most of them want someone to talk to. So
Correct.
you will definitely face these kind of situations, but you have to just deal with it. You have to be strong
Hmm.
enough. You don't have to get depressed, or just call your friends, talk to them, like, see, I'm walking here, I'm seeing that, and then time flies. So it's
Correct.
more of how you are approaching the situation.
Okay. That is interesting. Can you tell me about the time that you lived in the mountains and you were camping with only your phone?
Okay, so I was in Tajikistan. I was uh, traveling in the mountains for 6 days. And first few days I had a company. I was traveling with these two Belgium girls. Then in Hafkul I had this local family. But when I came to a place called Alauddin, which is actually one of the most beautiful place in Tajikistan and the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. So so going to that place from the main road, from the highway, was a very tough journey. So because there is no public transportation and there are only private cabs, you can share, but there was no one to share with. I was only one on the road, and I was like, that was very strange because quite well known. So, as a budget traveler, there was no option of hiring a cab. So, I was just walking and trying to hitchhike. Very difficult again because the road ends. There are villages which are like way further from the mountains. But I still managed. I walked, I hitchhiked like 3 to 4 times, but I still managed to go to the mountain. I don't know how. Like, there was some power, there was God which was helping me with this journey. And at the end, I actually hitchhiked the last part on a tractor, which was very funny. Like, four people on tractor. I was like standing behind, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And when I went to the mountains, I climbed totally different way. There was no route, and I was climbing because I don't know the route.
Hmm.
And I was stuck. Like, shit, I cannot even go down. I cannot even go up It was so difficult. It was just like a mountain, and with a backpack. But I still managed to do that. And I was shouting. There was no one. When I went to that lake, there are like four lakes, and when I went to the main lake, I saw there was no one, and I was like, "Shit, this is very strange. This is so much well known. There are so many travelers in this country. It's a country, like fucking, it's a country, and there is no single person on the mountain, which was totally surprising. But eventually, I was like, okay, now we are here. It's almost dark. Let's just camp. What would happen? Like maybe I would die, but let's take the challenge because you are unknown. Like I have a very bad habit. I never research about the place. So when I actually go and travel, I don't have any idea what the place, if there are wild animals or if there are kind of any unwanted things. So I was like unaware. I was like, let's just stay. And I was camping there all alone, the whole mountain. If I give even like a shout, there was no one to listen. And I
Mm-hmm.
stayed, even a small noise, I used to shout immediately. Is there someone? Is there anyone around me? Because it was scary, but it was still. When I survived the night in the morning, oh my god, the view what I saw in the night also, I woke up and it was kind of full moon. So what I saw was so amazing. And this sense that I survived the night all by myself in a mountain with no internet, no phone, nothing was something, according to people, which very big thing. For me, it was okay. But when I always tell this to people, they are like, shit, this is like really a good experience. It was amazing. So yeah, this was a very beautiful story which I can cherish all my life.
That seems like an interesting night. I think if you start writing your journal with this, people can definitely make a short film out of that one night that you experienced because
Maybe.
there would be great learning. I I can't imagine how it would have been for you. I cannot the difficulties that you faced. Also, not having anyone around, uh, I've never experienced that. I usually
And the
always have
whole
someone
time I was hoping there should be someone I want to talk, because it's like the whole time you're alone, you need someone to talk or to do something. There's no phone, you cannot even watch anything. But it was amazing when I used to sit and see the lake, and the lake was so beautiful. I cannot even explain the lake. It's not like some random lake.
around.
It was blue, and it was amazing. So that was a very different experience. I have never experienced something like that.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting and very memorable for you, I believe.
Yeah.
So you've been traveling for months now. Are you
Yeah.
the same guy who left Pune, or has the road changed you completely?
No, road has changed, not completely, but has definitely changed me a lot. First, I have this experience of going abroad, living for a while when I was doing my exchange. We will come to that eventually. I would like to share my experience about that. But I had this sense, and it changed a lot in me. So I was, from that moment, I was into that global citizen kind of a person thinking. But when I started actually traveling, and when I saw different kinds of people, travelers, and the way they have the perspective about their life is so different. They are so behind from this rat race, and they are so behind from all the structured life. And
Hmm.
it was something I felt was something to learn about. There were things which influenced me in a good way. There were things I cannot say in a bad way, but which is not acceptable from our society. So you have to cope up. You get exposed to so many different things, and I'm not like that old enough. I'm still a young guy. So coping up with those things and dealing with them without getting shocked or like seem surprised, because people come to know that the change in your behavior. So you have to act that you all experience, because you want to you want to show that it's okay. You can be
Hmm.
part of those people. So it changed. So when I come back, I always feel like, sadly, I feel that people are still stuck behind that basic small cribbings. and like they're still there, they still just want to go from this chai tapri to that chai tapri. Like it's not good, it's not bad, it's also good, but you some point of your life you should go beyond that, you know. And the
Right.
way they are like, okay, abhi to शादी ये हो गया, अभी शादी करना है, अभी बच्चे हैं, and that they have this tension, you know, they have this pressure which is not needed. So that is something when I come back, the people I meet, they are still there, but I have moved
Correct.
on. And then
Mm.
connecting with them on a very, like, you know, interior or a very deep level, it is difficult for me. So I
Okay.
sometimes I feel a foreigner myself.
Mm,
And
mm,
then when
mm,
I'm
mm.
on the road, I'm, you know, like free. And when I meet travelers, when I then I feel that, you know, like whoosh, that aha moment.
Okay. So, what would your Mumbai Law College friends say if they saw you now?
M- Not like Mumbai Law College students also, but like all the people around me. I'm not even kidding. And especially I'm talking about the people who are of my father's age. They all love what I'm doing. Okay. Like people are encouraging me on a very next level. They are telling me something that like what you're doing is something really brave. What you're doing
Mm,
is something they wanted to do in their life, which but due to some circumstances they couldn't do that. So
correct.
when I see, I used to think that people will always take a negative thing, you know, like what the hell, like he's doing, like he's just wasting his life. But no, there were people who were forcing me into getting into like LLM and doing that. And when they saw the way I'm traveling, they were like supporting me completely. They even asked me like when I'm going to start your practice. So you know they are
Mm,
like so much helpful, and there are so many good messages I get on my Instagram or WhatsApp that you know that we are able to see the world through your lenses, through your
mm,
travels. And we like there are people who have messaged me that today I'm going for a solo trip, and this is only possible because I saw your journey, and they have started traveling because of me. So it is very inspiring. It keeps pushing you, you know, because if you're doing something you should you know you should tell someone that see this is a life what you can live, that I can live, so you can also live it. So I think so those messages or those friends, they are very supportive. No one has came up to me and gave a very negative approach about this thing, because everyone loves to travel, you know, everyone loves to
right.
travel. They just want
Right.
to just get out, but it's not that easy.
Correct. That's true. So, mental health check. How do you stay positive when everything goes wrong? Bad transport, no place to sleep, stomach issues. What's your secret?
I have big stomach issues, so it's like a daily thing. I'm so used to it right now on the roads, like you know, every day after it's bad. But there are few situations where you feel like completely messed up, and you are like, what the hell I am doing with my life? Why the
Mm,
hell I'm doing on such a level which is kind of bothering me.
mm, mm,
There
mm,
are few situations. There was situation in this last trip. I lost my two flights because not because I was late, because I was not allowed to board the flight because of some transit visa issues and all. And being a backpacker, you know, you save every even spending 10 rupees INR, you think 10 times, because it's eventually it's going to be a big amount, and then immediately in fraction of moment 18,000 rupees goes, you know, in front of your eyes, and you cannot do anything. And the level of frustration you have there in that moment, that the hell I am, you know, like I'm saving so much of money and for no reason so much of money is gone. So there are many situations, but dealing with yourself in that moment, because there is no
mm,
one who's going to help you in that moment, no one. You're the only one who is going to carry yourself. I
mm.
call my mom every time, I crib, I give bad words, I give like this, I just put out my frustration. I feel like empty. Okay, now it's like okay, all gone. And then what's next? I have to deal with it right now. So there were
Correct.
few situations. My visa was about to over. Flight tickets back to India was hell expensive. There was no country which I could go, but I still managed. I took a decisions. So you have to be so impromptu in your life, and you don't have to be like, this has happened and this. I do crib a lot in front of my mom, but I don't show it out to the world. But you have to manage, you have to be strong, have to be, you cannot, and then you have to take a wise decision. More important, you
Hmm.
cannot like, okay, let's go back to India, it's only 30,000. No, it's 30,000. So you cannot
Hmm.
go, there is no option of going back to India. Find
Hmm.
something which is less cheap, which is not even in your view, but you have to go
Hmm.
because you have to keep the journey going on. So
Hmm.
taking a wise decision which is in a budget or which is not
Hmm.
costing you a lot is a very important thing. So there are also
Hmm.
like hitchhiking. When you do hitchhike a lot, there are moments you are standing on the road for a very long time
Hmm.
and you're done. The journey is about like 2 hours. You're hitchhiking for like 8 hours. The amount is not even $1,000. It's only 500 rupees you have to give, but you are still chosen to do that adventure. Then you have to push yourself. It's okay. It's just 100 kilometers more. 100 kilometers more. So you have to push yourself. You have to get out of your comfort zone, and you are the only one which will make you feel strong. And at the end, you are the only one who takes your journey ahead. So you feel that time, you feel a lot about that.
Have you ever thought about consulting a doctor when you have been sick, or for the times that you felt maybe depressed or anxious while you were traveling in a foreign country?
Sick, yes, I have. I actually went to in Uzbekistan. I went to a government hospital. I took injections. I took medicines. My stomach was bad. I was having fever. I was all alone. Was no one around me, so I have to deal everything by myself. The restaurants out there were very expensive. Not very expensive, but it was not in my budget. So I was
Hmm.
eating like bare minimum food, and I have to still survive. So that time I went to a doctor. It was a different experience. I was really scared because I thought it's gonna cost me like a lot. And when, like, I was calling my insurance guy, like, I'm in a hospital and this, and then the end of the day they didn't even ask me money because it was government hospital. I was like, okay. This was very surprising. But
Very lucky.
for depression or like for anxiety, I never approached any doctor or something, because traveling is my doctor, is my therapy.
Hmm.
Because travel, I am, see, there was this TEDx talks I was talking about, and there was this guy who was traveling in the mountains and in the bus, and there was a droplet which came through his window. And the droplet, he saw the droplet, and then he saw that's me, like from one place to another. You cannot actually hold yourself tight. And people travel for only two reasons: either to escape for something or to look something. And I am the one who is traveling for both the reasons. I want to escape few things, which is my problems, my anxiety. Everyone has anxiety. So my
Hmm.
anxiety, and I'm looking for something which is going to make my life better. So I think so. More than a doctor, more than a consultant, you need a distraction. The distraction which you like to do. So for me, travel is my doctor. So when I travel, I have so many things on my plate. When I'm going to hostel, I'm fucking depressed. There are 10 people who are there to talk to me from different parts of the world. So you
Hmm.
forget. Eventually, you don't even know that you are depressed. You are like again in that zone. So
Hmm.
it's all about perspective. I think so.
Okay. Every country teaches something different. If Thailand taught you one life lesson, Laos taught you another, and Central Asia a third, what would those be?
Thailand taught me that there are two different lives. There is
Okay.
one which you can go wasted, like
Hmm.
wasted. There is one which can lead you to spirituality, meditation, calm. So what I learned, that I don't want to be either of those. I don't want to be like a meditation guy. I don't want to be the one who is wasted. I want to be in the middle. I want to
Hmm.
meditate. I also want to go to parties. So I want to
Hmm.
have fun, but in a balanced way. So Thailand taught me the balance. Laos taught me that like being a small country which is not even known for most of the people, but still you can hold your own charm. I tried to skip Laos for 2 times, 3 times, but I eventually ended up. So I was like very surprised. It was very beautiful experience. Central Asia taught me that beyond culture, tradition, religion, there is a world called humanity. We are
Hmm.
all humans. We are not here to make problems. The agenda of my life, and I think so, everyone's life should be live and let live the way we want. You should not
Right.
bother anyone else, and you should let the other person live. So Central Asia taught me, and Brazil taught me how to be happening, how to be happy, how to accommodate people. India taught me how to accommodate people. I think so. I'm a very proud Indian because I can adapt all the cultures, because we
Hmm.
have taught that you should adopt it at your life. You should be welcoming to people. You should not be disrespectful to people. So
Hmm.
every country teaches something which is worth learning if you go
Hmm.
and stay for a while, which is important.
Yeah. You've seen how different cultures handle family time, work, stress, and happiness. What approach have you seen abroad that India could learn from?
Most of the countries, especially when I was in Brazil, I saw that people work hard, like real hard, sometimes more than us. But when the weekend comes or when the holidays are there, they enjoy.
Hmm.
They enjoy a lot. They,
Hmm.
like in Brazil, they used to always come together on weekends or like some of the other day, and then they used to sit, have barbecue, watch football matches, have drinks, and
Hmm.
with all relatives and all friends. So it's we always say that, oh, in India we have a very beautiful culture, family culture. We are very close to our parents, relatives, but I don't think so, to be honest, because we
Hmm.
are doing it on a very superficial level.
Okay.
We are connected to our parents, but 80% of the things our parents even don't know about us. So we are just hiding, we are just scared, we are not open to our family. So that's not something that is a beautiful way of having a relationship. What I saw in different countries, that they are really connected to the family. They know what is going on in their children's life. They know if like if the child is depressed or going through any problem, or if they have any relationship issues, which is part of
Hmm.
life. You cannot avoid this, it is going to happen.
Correct.
You cannot be strict about it. You have to be friendly, and you have to help your child to get away through this.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
you should enjoy life. You should not just earn and give it to the next generation. Of course, if you
Correct.
want to give it to the next generation, but live for yourself. Just go out, explore, have food, try different
Hmm.
stuff. Out of in the world, people try skiing, diving, everything. They are surfing. I don't know in India if anyone goes for skiing and diving and surfing. So why not? Be adventurous. Try to do
Hmm.
something which can give you joy. Just go out, go have a dance session. So try to relax yourself. Don't be in that structured rat race, which is not going to take you anywhere, to be honest. Because out there world is very different, and you're just living like this small part.
Right. I think the same thing. I think in India we live a very structured life. We have like a rule book that is given to us when we are born, and
Exactly.
eventually every one of us till the age of say 50 keeps following that. And right now I'm noticing people above 50, they give up on those things, or
Yeah,
they would find a way to have another life for themselves where they are like, okay, this is what I've done for the family, it's done, now I want to live for myself. But what comes with that is the struggle where you are not able to differentiate between your family, yourself, all throughout your life, that you do or that you save it for the end of, oh, when my children grow up.
exactly.
Usually,
Exactly.
usually there's things that we see with our mothers, they are always the ones that are inside the house. They're doing everything that is demanded from them, and they sort of start losing their identity. You know,
Exactly.
after a while, they don't remember who they
Or we
are, what
don't
have
have
been doing.
in India, we don't have a culture of having a break. You know, I've studied a lot in my life now. You know, since childhood till my graduation, I'm like 24, 23, and 1 year. If I take a break, you're not going to lose anything. You know, it's just 1 year. Go out, explore different countries, or like explore India. India is one of the best countries you can ever visit in your life. You have got
Mm,
everything from like land for all different landscape, different cultures. So just go out, you know. Okay, अभी मैंने ये अगर छोड़ दिया, if I, you know, don't do this kind of a structured way, if I don't take a job, then next time it will be
mm,
very difficult for me to take a job. Who has told you that? Okay, there will be some difficulty, but at least you would have that sense of satisfaction and motivation to move on to the further life. You know, people are
correct.
all depressed. You know, when you ask someone like, okay, how's your job going? Shit, yeah, the same thing every day. Go to the work, listen to the boss, do. So you can have a different life. It's just a decision. You don't need money, you don't need anything. You just need to decide yourself, have a faith
Mm,
in yourself, and okay, it's all gonna be fine. If I leave, it's all gonna be okay. And if you try to convince your parents, they're also going to be okay. And you have to show
mm,
them, show the trust. The parent always sees the trust in the child's eyes. If the trust is so strong, the family always, they are okay with it.
correct. Correct. That's true. That's true. How do you make real friends when you can't speak the language? Any connections that surprised you with how deep they became despite the language barrier?
So most of the people, not most of them, but many people don't are not like that fluent in English. So
Correct.
they know English thoda thoda, like, but I don't think so. Language is barrier. Of course, if you know a common language, you can bond or you can talk, have conversation on another level. But still, for just having a bond or like just having a memory with someone, you don't need to have a language in common. You just have to have the sense that you want to do that. You should have the, you know, the thought. I've met people who don't even know like not even a word, and have spent like 2 days with them traveling,
Mhm,
staying with their house in their house, and still, you know, we know everything. He's trying to explain me in his language. I'm trying to understand. It's not something like rocket science. It's okay. You can understand from the emotions, the hand gestures, some
mm,
words.
mm,
So it is possible. The thing is like you just want to take that efforts. People don't
correct.
want to do that. Like he doesn't know English, so why should I take all these efforts? But
Correct.
that's the beauty, like, you know, that's the beauty. Like he's gonna tell you a few words, you're not gonna understand. I'm gonna tell some words, she's gonna not understand, and then that's the fun.
Correct. I think I learned the most Spanish that I've spoken in Mexico from the house help Christina because she couldn't speak in English at all. And
Exactly.
I used to be with her the entire day. I used to be hungry or I used to want something and I used to be like, oh my God, how do I explain? I will have to do some actions, then she'll understand, then she'll do. But it was the most amazing experience, I believe.
When I meet Spanish people, I know Portuguese, so I have learned Spanish, but it's not that great. When I try to speak Spanish, my Portuguese come in between, and they don't know
Correct.
Portuguese, but still they can understand some words and the gesture.
Mm,
I have
mm,
actually had a very meaningful conversation with people who don't know English at all by speaking Portuguese and they speak Spanish, and it still works. We are,
correct.
of course, there are a few words we are not able to understand, but
Mm,
you know what you're talking. You know
correct.
the emotion, the way what they are talking. So it works. It's just about the efforts, as I said.
Correct. Trust is trust is huge in your travel style. You trust strangers with your safety, your belongings, your life, basically. How has traveling changed how you view trusting people?
I just trust people nowadays, to be honest, because if I'm staying with someone, if the guy is helping me, I think so. If you have doubts, it's gonna
Hmm.
create problems. There is,
Okay.
there is a thing which is there is one thing you can say. There's one pencil.
Hmm.
It's it's in everyone's in body. It's all connected. when you enter someone's house having that feeling that okay, is he safe, he knows this, emotion that
Feeling.
you are thinking that if he is safe or not, the feeling he
Ah,
knows, then the behavior
correct.
changes. Instead, if you just enter with like a big smile and like, I don't give a shit, I trust you, like, he
Yeah,
does give you that same vibe. So it's, again, it's all about how you give the vibe. You imagine you are going to someone's house, but the guy who is receiving you is taking someone into his house. It's more his
correct,
risk.
correct,
So
correct.
tomorrow it's gonna be more risk for him if you steal
Hmm,
and goes away. You cannot tell. But it's all about the smile, the way you talk to someone. They understand. So
hmm,
everyone is connected to each other. And the
hmm,
sense, like when I'm talking to you, there is one thing which connects us. And they
correct.
try to communicate first, even before we start communicating. So I think so. It's trust is just something you have to do. Of course, sometimes you're gonna get it wrong, but that's how it works. But I think so. Everyone out there is good people. There are no, there are of course bad people, but all are good people only. There are reasons why they are bad, and you will always attract bad people if you are having that approach. Even a bad people could become a good people just seeing the vibe you are giving to them.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
So it's
hmm.
all about you, how you are. If you have a
Okay,
good approach through the to the people to life, then it's all going to be good. Of course, I have few incidents, but it's just like part of the life.
okay. So that you turn into lessons and then you remember them for life at least.
Yeah. There are few. There are few. Like I was staying with a guy's house, and he was really nice, but he used to steal money. So he stole like $100, and he used to do it every person who used to come to stay with him. But like, not because of just that one incident, I have to be, like, okay, now I cannot trust people. No, I have to be careful. I don't have to put my money out there. So it's a lesson. So it's something like that.
Correct. You're often the only Indian in many places. How do you handle being different all the time? Does it get tiring or is it really exciting?
To be honest, people, not everyone has a very good perspective about Indians.
Correct.
People are a little bit resistant when they come, and they know that, of course, they know that I'm Indian. So they are a little bit careful, because according to them, sometimes few Indians are too pushy. They're trying on them too much hard, or they are
Hmm.
like, just the talk they have, they are too much like, that I am correct. Like I met a guy and we were sitting all together with few other travelers, and all are travelers from all around the world. They are doing something in their life, or they are just on a break, and he's just like, you cannot live this for the whole life. You have to have something. You have to have, and they were like, like, don't be so much pushy. Like we are living the life what we are. This is not, this is our culture, or this is our way of life, and you cannot be that pushy on someone. And when you meet
Hmm.
Indian, you have that kind of, they have this, we have kind of this perspective because it's in us. So you have to be very, as I said, you have to be open minded, extremely open minded person, because you're going to meet someone which is doing completely against your culture,
Yeah.
and
Correct.
you
Okay.
cannot tell them this is wrong. Okay,
Hmm.
because you are not anyone who you can tell out there. So you have to be open, you have to understand, you have to accept, and then you can suggest if you want, or you have to be just yourself. You don't have to preach anyone. So sometimes it's really amazing. Few people have amazing perspective. I have talked about like spirituality or religion, because people are interested what, like, different temples in India, or like how different people live together, of being so diverse country, and they have felt like so much big connection. Even I remember there was this girl from Germany, and she was just listening to me. I didn't even knew that she was listening. And then when she was going, and she just asked me like, can I hug you? Like, you talked few things which really opened my mind, and the perspective also changed, and now I want to visit India. And she just hugged me, and like she just went. So try to try to put your country out there in a very different way, because you have so many beautiful things to share which is not in their country, and they are excited. Because you have to be open minded, you cannot be like very rigid and then approach people.
Correct. So recently, you have also joined Radio, the NGO, which helps Indians in trouble abroad. Without giving away secrets, what kind of situations do travelers get into that they never expected? Or what kind of situations have you come across that the Radio NGO itself helps people in need?
So a radio is especially an organization where they help Indians, distressed Indians all around the world. It can be travelers, it can be people who are working, living, taking an education. So if they have any problem, for example, there are many workers who are brought to Gulf countries and they have wrong visa, they have fake visas, and they are stuck there. Embassies wants to help them, but of course they have some limitations. So radio is something which goes beyond and try to help them. There are many people, like if I'm a traveler and if I'm stuck, if there is a war, there is a war situation. I was thinking to go to Iran right now. If I would be there, I would be stuck. So at that time, trying to contacting embassy, trying to contacting with the airlines, this NGO helps to bring people back. So when the Ukraine and Russia war happened, 4,830 people were students were brought back to India. So it is it has a very big thing, and I got an opportunity to go to, when I'm traveling, just go to the embassies and try to connect those embassies with the NGO. And I thought, why not? Because if I'm traveling in some or the other way, I am contributing to the country, to the people. And even if giving like 1 hour or 2 hours of my travel to this noble work would help few people, you never know. So I'm trying to help as an international coordinator, and it's amazing. The more that the feeling that you're doing something which is going to help someone is amazing. Because when you travel, there are people who help you a lot, a lot, a lot, and then you have this sense that you have to give back to the society, give back to the community. And then
Hmm.
when you give it back, the satisfaction is very different.
Okay. Best travel hack that saves money but tourists don't know about. The insider trick that makes local think this guy knows what he's doing.
Best travel hacks is something believing that you can do a trip by yourself, not through a travel agent.
Okay.
I'm not telling that don't go to travel agents, but if you want to do on a budget, of course, approaching a travel agent is not at all gonna be a budget, because you have to give money to travel agent first. Uh, f- while booking your tickets, try to be adjustable. Don't try to be I want direct flight. Try to be like, okay, there is a layover for a few hours, the flight is a little bit more, taking more hours, okay, it's gonna save like a good amount for you, and that good amount is gonna help you in another situation in the trip. So don't think like, okay, if I save this much, what is gonna happen? If you do that all the time, at the end of the day, it's gonna happen a big amount. So
Correct.
that's the thing. Second, try to stay in hostels. Hostels are very cheap. I used to think that hostels in India is the cheapest, but I've saw few hostels in the foreign countries which are even more cheaper, which are even more good facilities. So it's like in Bali. In Bali, I was staying in a hammock in a hostel. I was just paying 250 rupees, but I was staying in a hammock.
Hmm. Hmm.
But in Bali, no one even in Bali knows what is 250 rupees INR.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there are always some tricks and trips. There, try go local food. It's always cheap. It's always cheap, and it's the best. It's something of that place. There are so many people going and eating. Every single country has public transportation. You don't have to get cabs, you don't have to get rapidos, you don't have to get like taxis. Just go use the public transport, it's gonna work. It's not that difficult. You're just gonna ask someone, okay, everything is in Russian or like some other language. Just go and ask someone. Just go out, ask that where is this location. Okay, sometimes people come out with
Hmm.
you just to make sure that you are safe and you have got to their
Correct.
place. I have experienced this. So Just again, the tips are about getting out of your comfort zone. So if you get out of your comfort zone, everything is cheap only. There are many websites called Skyscanner, do that. There are many
Hmm.
volunteering opportunities which I will explain. There are couch surfing which you can do. So there are many things which you can go buy food from supermarket.
Hmm.
Supermarkets are always cheap. Try to go in a
Correct.
local market and have fruits and have vegetables. Try to cook for
Hmm.
yourself. It's all are like tips and tricks. Like when I do my, like, it's very shocking. If you take away from if you take the amount of flights and visa, if I am staying in a country for 25 days, I tend to spend around 10 to 15,000 max 15,000 for 25 days exploring most of the stuff. So it is not even possible. Like if you want to do, if like go in a travel agency, or like if someone asks me, like they are like, this is not even possible, how this much cost is just in a transportation. No,
Hmm.
because you have to be that adjustable, you know, have to be flexible. So these are the tips and tricks which I think.
Okay. For someone scared to travel alone, what's the most honest advice? Not the motivational poster stuff, but real talk about overcoming fear.
According to me, if the factor is only fear, you just have to get out on the road and just, you know, like, of course there are be thousand insecurities, like how's gonna it's gonna be happen, or what's the thing, but what, at the end of the day, what can go wrong? Like what, there are not there is no situation that you can, you know, get not get out of it. Okay, death is the only thing, but other than that you can get like through any situation. And people
Correct.
out there are not looking for a prey, you know, they are all
Hmm.
okay, they are all very helpful. So the, of course the fear is very, is mandatory, you know, it's like on your first trips it is mandatory that you are going to have this kind of fear. But just starting the journey is the only solution. It's a motivational like kind of a line, just go away, like go and step out and get on the road. But it's actually the fact, you know, you have to get on the road or you cannot
Hmm.
overcome the fear.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That's the only thing which I think, like, just get out.
Okay. Before traveling, what mattered to you that seems silly now? And what matters now that you never thought about before?
Before traveling, before traveling, I used to live in Mumbai. So Mumbai taught me a lot. But when I was in my house, even like like a chapati, or like my food should be hot. You know, my chapati should not be made like few hours before. It should be made when I am sitting on the table. Or there were few things which I would not even, if I want to get a milk which is like 200 meters away, I would not even walk. I would take my bike, I would go and I would get it. I do that. But
Hmm.
when I'm on the road, I am just like, oh, it's just 3 kilometers. I can walk, you know, like, because you are on a budget, you have to survive. And then at that time, you are not like, it's not 300 meters. I have walked like 25,000 steps per day, which is around 22 kilometers per day.
Hmm.
I was walking most of the times. There were foods like, there was sometimes there were food which was for 24, for 12 hours, for 13 hours or 15 hours, I have no food, just surviving on one bottle of water and one biscuit. It's just in mind, you know, it's just in mind that, you know, I want everything neat, I want everything clean, I want
Hmm.
everything perfect. When you are out there, if you have that passion of doing something, there is nothing which can stop you. I don't think so. Like you can survive on any level if you want to get there. Like
Correct.
I have traveled in Indian general class where if you get up for washroom also, your seat is gone for 25
Right.
hours.
Hmm.
I went, my ticket was not confirmed, and I was like, I'm already at the railway station. I'm gonna go to Chandigarh. From Mumbai to Chandigarh, I went in a general compartment. It was so bad. 80% of my Indian travels I've done in my general compartment. So I've seen the worst in my life. But that taught me like this is the reality, you know. Being in
Hmm.
first AC or second AC is not the reality. This is the
Correct.
reality. This is something what is going on, and this is something what we should not become. and we should try to help. So seeing
Hmm.
reality is also a fact, and if you survive that zone, I don't think so. If someone tells me like now I have to go to Delhi, there is urgent work and it has to be done, I cannot be like, oh, the flight ticket is very expensive. There is no reservation. No, I can go. I can manage and I can go there anywhere in the world, to be honest. So it's all about that one thing which you have to leave. And everything
Hmm.
is silly. Everything what you used to do before is silly.
Correct. Correct. You've lived with different ideas of success, time, relationships. How do you carry these lessons back to India where everyone's rushing to achieve something?
The most beautiful thing is like bonding with people. You bond with people, you spend with them like 2 days, 3 days, 2 hours sometimes. But when you say that final goodbye, you don't even know, like if you're gonna meet them in your life again, because they are there right now in front of you, but in next 1 hour they're gonna fly somewhere which you don't even know you can go there or not.
Hmm.
The sense of amazing strong connectivity of that bond you learn, and the respect you have got about relations in your life is so important. And it feels blessed to meet people. There are people, I've seen people who are just relaxing, who have done the part of their life, who have get married, who have given birth to their child, their child are working, and now they are just living their life, traveling together as a couple or as a solo.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they are just living in the moment. They
Hmm.
don't know what other people are telling behind them, that these people are just going, they are not taking care of the child. The child is is capable enough. So I think so when I come back to India and when I see that people are still living the nutshell life, I feel sad, because I feel that there is so much out there which they can experience. And nowadays, I've seen many Indians going and traveling, going exploring. There are many backpackers right now in India. So many
Hmm.
Indians are getting into this backpacking culture. So I think so. This is very important in life, because the lessons you will learn through traveling, especially as a solo traveler, it's going to help you on a very different level, and it's not going to make sense at that time, but I think so eventually in your life it's going to definitely come up. So there are so many things, especially respecting the relations what we have back home is very important. And just relaxing, because it's all about the relaxed life. We are all struggling to live a relaxed life, and which
Hmm.
we never live. We are always struggling only. So that I think so can change.
Yeah. If young Atharva from school could see you now, what would shock him the most? Your courage, your choices, or how happy you seem living so simply?
Exactly. How happy, like I used to when I was child, I used to always, uh, I used to have this thing, when I die, I
Hmm.
want to die in such a big house, like,
Hmm.
and every day when I wake up, I want like 10 people's working for me, and I want
Hmm.
like everything luxurious. I want like a revolver back in my this, and like a very different kind of a perspective, that this is only what all life is all about. But right now, and the way I'm happy, like doing such a small thing, just sitting outside of a supermarket, eating noodles, and having that satisfaction. Okay, I had a good meal today. I had a good day. It's something very, very huge. If I'm home, if I even get like two rotis, if I don't get the third, I am like angry. But just having a cup of noodles is giving me that satisfaction that I had a full meal.
Hmm.
So that Atharva would always, and the Atharva that in child, like in young, seeing that he is just exploring the world, just going out, living the life, experiencing so many different stuff, he would definitely be happy about it.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Because I think we are sometimes trying to connect back to who we were
Yes.
and also trying to bridge a gap between who will we become
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
are an adult. Sort
True.
of, we are adulting at the moment. I feel
True.
it's already a struggle in itself.
It is, of course. But it's a good struggle. At least you have the
Good
sense of
struggle.
satisfaction that what you're doing is something what you like.
Correct. That's true. For someone stuck in a job they hate, dreaming of travel but scared of taking the leap, what's the first baby step they should take?
They should start traveling. They should try to um, make a compact plan from their schedule, and they should
Hmm,
just go and travel for a few days. I would recommend to go at least once in your life. Once in your life, I would recommend to just go and travel solo, because while you travel solo you learn a lot about yourself.
hmm,
And if you go, it's there is a saying, if you go brown, everything, every other color let you down. So it's something like that. If you go solo, every other trip will let you down,
hmm,
because the way you enjoy being solo, when you
hmm,
try to meet people which are unknown and then try to have memories with them, is amazing. Of course, do trips with your friends and all, but traveling solo is kind of a learning, it's a school. Because
hmm,
when you with a friend, you are again in your comfort zone, you're again back home, because you don't try to talk to other people. You always like, we are three friends, we are only going to explore by ourselves, and that's the
hmm,
perspective. Eventually it happens. So being solo travel is amazing. And so try to make these small gaps and try to travel in India or few countries and start it. Eventually will, don't take a rash decision, don't take a rational decision. Okay, I saw this interview today, and from tomorrow I'm gonna quit everything, I'm gonna be solo traveler. Don't, because you don't know if you like it or
hmm,
not. There
hmm,
is
hmm, hmm, hmm.
many chances you're gonna hate it. You're gonna think like, what the hell is this? I don't want to be a solo traveler, I don't even want to travel. So first try to travel, try to see the way of this traveling, and if you like it, then eventually take. Like, I started traveling after COVID. I traveled in India a lot, around 100 cities. Then eventually, when I completed my law, when I finished everything on my plate, then I decided, okay, I want to be a full-time traveler. So I cannot take okay. One fine day I was not like, okay, let's leave law, let's leave everything, and let's be a solo. No, 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 no. Don't do that.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
It's like a step, like small steps. So take that.
So I know your family. I know your mom and dad, and I know their perspective about life, where they come from, where they are, how they've raised you, how much things they've given you. But for the audience, did you think that your parents had concerns initially when you asked them that, I want to start full-time solo traveling, I want to become a budget backpacker? Or did you have to prove to them that this unconventional path isn't just wasting time of your life?
So first, when I started traveling, it was COVID, and that time it was, I was doing nothing, so they had no problem of me going out because nothing was going to go waste. But when I
Correct.
did my first trip, it actually, the Rotary kept my presentation immediately after my first trip, and so they were like surprised that this guy went to a solo trip for 12 days, ended up for 28 days. My phone got stolen. I came back in a budget, I didn't even book a ticket. Like, I came back in the general compartment in my first trip, and they were like very surprised. They were like, okay, then eventually I used to say them that I want to travel these many cities now, not these
Hmm,
many cities, I want to go travel. Okay,
hmm,
where? Okay, I'm going to start in Manali. So I don't know how
hmm,
much days, what many cities, but they were like, okay, they had this trust in me. And then I
hmm,
used to go, and then I used to travel. Eventually, so you don't have to, they don't want you to prove by directly saying on your face, but they want you to show through your actions. So
correct.
I was, as I was doing it, it was proving that I can actually do that. And my dad is
Understood.
like, do whatever you want in your life. He's not gonna come and tell me that what to do. So he was all okay. My mom was all okay. And when I talked about the world tour, so I was talking, and my dad was like, okay, what's the plan? Give me that. I was like, there's no plan. There is no plan. I don't know how much time it will take, how much money it will take, but I just want to do that. So one fine day said me, okay, you can. And my dad was actually concerned, like he doesn't come up and sees on my face, but he went to my mom and he asked like, okay, financially, let's see, but if something happens to him,
Hmm.
then how are we gonna deal? My mom said, which was very surprising,
Hmm.
as a single child, if some parent is telling that these lines, it's such a big kind of a thing. My mom said, what wrong could happen? He would die. Like the most bad thing that happened, he would die. At least he would die something he was loving. So when he dies, he was doing something which he used to love to do. So
Correct.
so we cannot hold him because something is gonna happen. It's gonna happen
Correct.
here also. If you're gonna
Hmm.
happen, it's gonna happen here also. So
Correct.
for me, my family is the only biggest support I've got, because without family, as being an Indian child, I cannot do anything. Like cannot take such a big decisions.
Hmm.
I've been traveling for 5 years. I've been traveling full time for last 1 year, exploring 10 countries. My
Hmm.
family is okay of me going to next trips, exploring for 1 more year, 2 more years. They're not pushing me. They're not asking me like, what's about the career, how is going to help you this. When people try to ask them, they just try to answer them, like let him figure it out. So
Hmm.
I don't think so. Like it's going to be very tough for a being parent, like being only child. My family doesn't even know where I am. Okay, there is a group, I inform them, but like then what? If something happens, then they actually cannot do anything.
Correct.
So just having that trust, okay, my child is there and he would not do anything stupid, or if nothing, it's just the trust. You have to let go, and letting
Hmm.
go is the only thing. But for me, I have to respect the trust. I don't have to do anything stupid, or I have to don't behave something which is gonna actually end up me in a problem and is gonna make my parents, guilty about the decision. So it's something, it's both the ways, but being such a strong parent is it's a very big thing. I swear to God, I don't even know if I can do this to my child, if I can give
Correct.
this much freedom to my child. So it's a very big thing.
Correct. What's the biggest myth about solo travel that stops people from trying? What would you tell them to change their mind?
That you're gonna be all alone in your whole trip. There's no one gonna come and talk to you. You end up being lonely. No, guys. There are few days I have been running away from people because I'm done talking to people. I want to be alone. I don't want to explain them where I'm from, what I'm doing, what I'm traveling. No. So every touch wood, more 90% of the times, every evening, every day, I've met someone new. I've met people, I've traveled with them. So you're not going to be alone. You're going to have time of your life, and you're going to connect so amazing people, which is going to change your whole perspective about the world. So it's a big myth that you're going to be all alone. No.
So
You'll
you
be
don't think
tired
you
of
need
meeting. Huh?
you don't think you will need Bumble or Tinder to meet people?
No, you actually don't need. You go hostel, there are so many people, just keep a open-minded approach, and then there is no limit. You cannot stop.
Hmm.
And you can also
Okay.
find good connections on Bumble and Tinder also. So try that if you want.
This lifestyle requires constant adaptation. How do you stay true to yourself while changing for every new place and culture?
See, as coming from an Indian family, Indian culture, there are so many things. There are 80% of the things which are wrong only. What's going in the world. So I have to understand first that there is a huge possibility that I have to end up in India.
Okay.
If I don't have end up in India, there are parents, there is family which is going to stay in India only, and they have to face a lot if I do something which is really against the culture. So
Correct.
having that sense of maturity of not just getting overwhelmed and not
Mm.
just thinking and just letting yourself flow
Mm.
is not something correct all the time. So you have to
Okay.
be a kind of mature enough to understand how what are the circumstances of what everything you do. Of course,
Mm.
do all the things what you feel like to do, but see the consequences. What's gonna end up? There are people. There is lots of drinking, lots of drugs, lots of dating with different kind of personalities, different kind of sexualities going on, and it's all gonna come to you 100%. It's all gonna fascinate you. If you want 100% do that, but be careful while doing that. Be careful, set your limits, set always keep in your mind what's your culture. Sometimes I
Mm.
think Indian culture helps me to not getting
Mm.
flow, just
Okay.
not getting wasted. Indian culture help me, Indian cultures hold me back. It tells me that no, this is not good for the long run. Like
Mm.
in
Mm.
drinking and drugs and this kind of things, it is so obvious, so easy to get. But I was living in Thailand for 2 months. Marijuana is legal there. I have it. That was the only Indian culture which was holding me back, which was holding me. Okay, this is a pleasure for now, but if I
Mm.
get to this, then I'm gonna get like really messed up. So
Correct.
it's all about how you have to handle it, and there is no one going to come you and tell you that you're doing a lot, you're doing enough. Nothing. It's you're on your own. You have the freedom of the world. There's no one who's
Correct.
going to tell you, but you have to be sensible enough to deal with all these things. So it's very important, and it's one of the biggest problems which young generation goes through. But
Mm.
you have to be smart enough. You have to be.
That's true.
I have seen, I have encountered so many things in my life, but have participated in so many less things. So, you have to be very careful.
So you've proven extraordinary experiences don't need extraordinary money. What's your message to people who think travel is only for the rich?
It's not at all. I am not at all rich or something. My family is not having like um, crores of money or lakhs of money in the bank account. It's just how you have to decide how you want to travel, how you want to go out there. If you are willing to travel in a low budget, getting out of your comfort zone, trying some things which are not comfortable to you, do that. It's not going to cost you a lot. I'm doing all sort of trips. In India I spend around 6,000 for 25 days trips. In foreign countries I spend around 10, 15. Some countries I've spent around 7,500. In Oman is the third largest currency in the world. Okay, one Omani riyal is 225 rupees. I've spent in 8 days 1,450 rupees. So it's possible. It's just you have to find the hacks. You have to talk to people. You have to ask. Just use all this couch surfing, volunteering, hitchhiking stuff.
Mm.
People are gonna
Mm.
help you, and it's just gonna be. It's not for rich people. It's actually not for rich people. It is only for the people who are not rich.
Okay. Interesting take. After seeing so many different ways of living, what gives you hope about humanity? What universal truth have you discovered? Or have you?
It's the universal truth. I would say is just like people are out there to help you. People are very, very, very amazing, very loving, very caring. You will not even feel homesick if you actually travel locally. Everyone is gonna make you feel so special, and people are amazing, and there's such a big world out there doing so many different stuff. And sometimes people are not even expecting that you will pay them or you will give something out of, you're just helping them because they just want to help you, just for the humanity. And it doesn't matter from where you come, from which religion you are from, if you're white, if you're black, if you're brown, doesn't matter. It's you have to be the one who is open for everything. If you are rigid, if you are restricted, and if you are doing all this kind of discrimination, then it's gonna be problem for you. But if you are all good, then everything is gonna be good. And I think so we skipped about Brazil, but I want to explain that there's an amazing opportunity for Rotary Youth Exchange, which you can do. I did when I was 15 years old. Rutansha did when she was 16 or 17 years old.
17.
And you just go there for a year, learn different cultures, stay different with different host families, and you meet people from all over the world, the same as you, as you know, like young students, and it's gonna change your life. It's gonna change your
Hmm.
perspective about life at a very young age. And I don't think so anything would be possible if I have not done this kind of shit. You know, it is epic shit, I can say. Rotary Youth Exchange is something, or exchange program is something which is gonna change your life upside down, and it's gonna open the whole world to you, and it's amazing. I don't think so anything could be better than that.
I think it challenges you to see the world beyond what you have been taught,
At a very
or
small age.
correct, at a very small age. I think the phenomena that we talk about is reverse cultural shock.
Yeah,
When we come back to India from another country after living a year there, and
exactly.
we can't adjust into the society again, it's like, what, who
Exactly.
are these people and why they are behaving certain way, and I don't know what to do now. It happens at a very young age, and I think you
But
understand.
still you have to adjust. That's the,
Correct,
and
that's
then
true.
you eventually do adjust, and then you
Huh,
do again feel the part of the society, and that is life. You just imagine if I'm traveling so many different places,
hmm,
every time I feel home, every time I feel that, oh, this is such a nice place, and then I have to leave it immediately.
correct.
The power of moving on
Hmm,
is very important in life, is very important in life, that you should
correct,
learn to move on. And I have already learned it when I was 15, because I have to leave my
correct,
host family back home there, and I
correct.
came here. And you know, it is very important because there are people. Why people get depressed? Why people get anxious? Because they
Hmm,
don't know how to move on from
correct.
relationships, from family matters, from problems, and that keeps bothering them. So the art of moving on is also something which is amazing.
That's true. That's very true. So
And
coming to
travel
the
teaches
very
that, which is very important. Moving on. Travel teaches you how to move on.
correct. So coming to the last question, my friend, my dear friend, knowing everything you know now about the road, the struggles, the rewards, the lessons, the excitement, would you still choose this path? And what's next for Atharva the Wanderer?
So my name is very well known as the foodie nomad. I love to try food, and I'm not living like a nomad. I've seen nomads, and they are another level which I cannot even go near to them. You know, I'm so far away from this travelers world. There are amazing people what they're doing. It is something, you know, you are like just blown away what people are doing with their life, and in a good sense. But my aim is to explore more countries. It's not I want to tick every part of the world. Of course I want to travel most of the world, but it's all about, for me now, to be honest, traveling is not about places. Traveling is not about what country I'm visiting. Okay, this country is huge, this country it's all about meeting people. It's all about meeting people. If I'm traveling to one of the best country in the world with the best everything, and if I'm not even making a single connection, that trip is waste. It's gone drain. You know, it's nothing useful. The satisfaction of meeting someone and having a bond for lifetime, or having a bond at that moment, is something I'm craving for my future travels. Is I have been craving all the way, and I want to see the world and experience different cultures, take from the society, because you should not be shameful to take from the community, from the world, and give it back to them according to you, however it is possible. If you see a foreigner, if you see a traveler, if you see someone on the road, anyone who is struggling,
Hmm,
just go and help him. Just try
hmm,
to help them, just try to tell to explain them, just try to help them get through the public transport or whatever. So just help them. So
Correct.
giving out to the world is also important. So I want to experience this whole what I talked about. I don't know how many years, but I want to do that.
All the best to you. I hope all your next trips become much more than what you imagine to be. And I hope that you make a lot of connections. Also, coming to the very end of our podcast, I think maybe after a few more trips of yours, I would like to have you back and then ask you probably the same questions and then expect a very, very different answer or something much more evolved than what we have experienced in this podcast, in this episode with you. Also, I understand that when you're traveling in a budget constraint way, you are also doing a lot of volunteering for a lot of people. You also end up giving back to the society than more than what you have imagined. We have been a part of Rotary, we have seen what exchanges do. Now that you also connect these things with your actual life, do you think that this is going to be the life purpose that you have?
Maybe, to be honest, I have kept my life purpose, option, career open, like
Open. Okay.
everything comes, I'm all like welcome to accept it, to embrace
Hmm.
it. So definitely I have to give back to the world from my ways. It can be small, it can be huge, I don't know. It can be a small gesture, it can be a big gesture. It's not about the big or small, it's just about the gesture and the as I said, you should have the kind of a thinking of live and let live. You should not trouble someone. You should just let them live their life. You are not the one who decides, or you cannot judge if they are doing it wrong or right. Of course,
Correct.
my all my friends are into LLMs, are into corporates, studying like Rutancha in another country, getting judiciary. But I am, I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know, but it's okay. Like it should be okay. So it should be okay of if someone is doing something different, you should be okay with it. You should try to understand why they're doing it instead of judging them. And it's like, I think so the purpose can be anything. Just be open minded, which is very important. Being open minded and accepting people, because
Hmm.
everyone is going through something in their life a lot. So they behave something which you feel uncomfortable or not good. Try to understand what they are going through, try to understand how you can help them or just talk to them. So I think so it's more about understanding the world and understanding yourself, because you are the one who are running away from most of the things, and you have to wait, accept, and then run away to get away from those things, not with them. So I think so that is important. If you are going through any depression, if anxiety, try to find something which is gonna divert you, which you like. I
Hmm.
also have so many things, but traveling kinds of teaches me. It's a therapy. Traveling is
Hmm.
therapy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is
Hmm.
always a therapy to many people. So I know
Correct.
people who have divorced, have gone through many problems, and still they're traveling by themselves. They are not worrying about the society or something. Society is nice, but if it's coming in your way, which you want to do, then it's not something you should worry more about. So I think so. Yeah, I would love to talk to you again maybe one day and share more inspiring, good stories, some good things, some wrong decisions, some good decisions, everything I don't know. And I hope that everyone who wants to travel out there or just want to live the life, you should take that decision. And we travelers always say that we don't say trip, we always say tour, because tour is something, it's more of an experience, and trip is something what you are planned already.
Correct.
So let's try to be very impromptu in some part of the life. Let's try to experience something which is not at all planned. Let's just universe take care of it, manifest for the best. And I hope we always say that see you on the road. So it's something like I'm telling all the audience to Rutansha, whoever is interested into exploring the life, just like maybe see you on the road sometimes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Atharva, for coming today. I hope all your motivations, all your manifestations come true. and may you have a very, very long tour life in general.